This one's live. What's up, everybody? My name's Justin from Party Rental Knowledge, and I teach tips and tricks in the party rental industry. Sorry that I'm filming from my truck today. I'm very busy. I just got done with a meeting for a Halloween parade. This is my buddy Carlos. Today we're going to talk about fixing bounce houses, fixing inflatables, inflatable repair, things such as that. How you doing, Carlos?
Good, man. Thanks for having me again.
So Carlos, me and Carlos did a video before, basically talking about his class with Fix My Inflatable. He owns the company Bounce Fix. Why don't you recap a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm the instructor for Fix My Inflatable. It's taught here in Ocala, Florida, at my shop, which is Bounce Fix, and I'm a standalone bounce house or inflatable repair company. That's all I do. And so the class is taught here, and basically it's a one-on-one class for 3 days. So you get a lot of information, a lot of hands-on, stuff going on.
You can't learn this stuff on a YouTube channel. You got to basically learn this stuff in person. So
Right.
You teach the class that does it. Basically, today we're here to just talk a little bit about the class, talk about a little bit about the stuff we got going on, and then we got an offer for everybody, obviously, too. Maybe we'll get towards the end. But we're here to answer your questions, too, so you can go ahead and just start answering your questions now, and we'll get to them as we go, then try and answer them all at the end. But first, obviously, I want to talk about this. You text this phone number right here. You're going to sign up for our newsletter. You're going to get deals sent to your phone once a month. You're basically just going to be a pitch posh of like tents, tables, chairs, bounce houses, services, software, all that stuff for discounts and information. All you got to do is sign up. It's free for you. So free for everybody, free for all.
Yeah, definitely sign up for the newsletter.
But yeah, let's get into fixing inflatables. So, it's a 3-day class, is it not?
Yep, it's a 3-day class, one-on-one. So it's just me and you. You could also bring an observer, a class observer. So anybody affiliated with the company. That way, at least both of you guys can get the knowledge. And but basically, one person will be operating the machine, and we'll have. Basically, so how it works is the first day is basically learning the sewing machine and how to operate it, how to thread it up, and little minor things that, if it has something goes wrong, you'll know how to, get it going again quickly, which is huge, especially if anybody's done repairs, they know these machines are very temperamental. So we'll learn about that. We'll learn about stitch length and patterns and everything that associates, like just hands-on with the machine the first day. And then the second, third day, we just hop right into repairs. We just start knocking out repairs. Now, if you drive here, you can bring your own repairs, which is awesome because you're going to leave with fixed units ready to go, back out in the field. You're going to fix them for free. So that offsets the cost of the class as well, which is awesome.
This class is sick. So first thing first, just stick to the end of this video, or once the video is out, you can always just fast forward to the end and grab the code if you want to do that too. But literally, I'm going to give you a discount on this service, so that's money off. You bring a bunch of your inflatables there, then that can drop the cost almost in half in itself, because now you don't have to pay for that repair bill. Then you have the knowledge to go fish. You have the knowledge to go repair all of your own inflatables. But not only your inflatables, you can start repairing inflatables around you and start making more money. So eventually the class just not only pays for itself, but just starts putting more money in your pocket.
Yeah, definitely. We had a class not too long ago. They did close to like $2,000 worth of repairs. They bought, I think it was like 6 units or something like that. But they actually had, we had the student plus 2 other observers. So while we had the two other observers, prepping the units to get ready, and we were just, banging out repairs, and they left everything fixed. They were super happy about it, and that offset the cost of the class. So, and like you said, also, yeah.
If you don't have inflatables too, you basically own a inflatable repair business. So you have lots of material to work on. So you're not just like sewing square pieces of vinyl together and like, hey, I taught you how to sew. Like you can actually work on some physical units if you don't own any. Maybe you just want to learn how to do this and do what you do basically.
Yeah.
And just do repair.
Yeah, I do have so I have units here at the shop that I keep for the class. A lot of my students will fly in, so obviously they can't bring their own units, but I do have units here. And what we'll do is we'll just kind of mock up a repair. We'll blow it up, and if you want to do a seam repair, we'll kind of tear a seam up or cut a net, fix the seam, a step or something like that. So we can mock up different repairs, especially the most common ones that you're going to want to learn. So we'll definitely, even if you fly in and don't bring units, you will get that hands-on experience for sure.
Yeah, I like the hands-on learning is extremely important, but you can't learn this stuff on YouTube really. Go ahead and start asking your questions in here, everybody, because we're going to go ahead and start answering some of them. So what do you suggest for repairing steps? They sell replacements, but is it better to fix them?
All right. So as far as steps, they can be a little bit of a hassle to repair. So basically the first thing about steps is you got to figure out if it's just one or two that's ripped out and you just want to repair those two and keep the original stair liner. You kind of have to see how the manufacturer made it, first of all. A lot of like the old school stuff, it was just like a pool noodle in there. It was PVC inside a pool noodle. So that's kind of a route you can go as far as a step. I actually have pre-made steps that are very long. And then what I do is I actually cut them down to size and sew Velcro on. But as far as stairs goes, as far as a repair, you really got to see how the manufacturer made it. A lot of times it's either that or a PVC pipe. And then what you can do is you can tear or open up a side or the bottom underneath it, and then just replace the insert and just sew it back in a corner. And that's usually a quick repair for that. So.
Definitely. You don't just teach sewing too. You probably teach a lot about like patching and the proper way to patch.
Yep.
Not to use duct tape and like what was that? What was all that stuff that's like horrible to use on bounce houses? Like quick seal.
That flex seal.
Yeah, that's so good. Ocala represent.
Yep.
And then we got, what is the cost of the class?
All right, so the cost of the class is $34.95, and that's for a 3-day one-on-one experience. And you are allowed to bring observers. And basically, it's just a $500 deposit to book your 3 days.
Yeah, and I know somebody who did. My buddy Steve, he literally did your class, and he owns a bounce house company, and then like does the repairs on the side too. So the first thing he does is he just like puts extra zippers on units and does all kinds of wild stuff, like customizes his own units and does all kinds of weird stuff like that.
Yeah, my last student, we just did that. He actually flew in and to one of my units here. He wanted to learn how to add a zipper, so we added a zipper to the front of this combo with a flap and everything. He was super excited about that. So
that's what I like about learning being able to do my own repairs. But he literally, like, you took it a step further. Like, you do only repairs. Like, that's wild. But he does, like, I think what a lot of people are gonna do is like repair everything in his area that he can possibly. And then during the winter, it's just extra. Like, if you have a dead season, and a lot of people ask what to do during the winter, well, this is something you can do during the winter. You can do like repairs for you and for other people in your area,
right?
And that's just gonna like put you Put you on the nice list for all your competition too. People are gonna mess with you.
Yeah,
They're gonna
that
like you.
time for sure. Yeah, like I said, just even for your own units, it's nice to have them. You know you're gonna have all your units ready for the next season, so that's nice. And then you can make a ton of money really just servicing the area, especially if there's nobody there.
Here we got a question here. Would you like a donor repair? I just need it back in the spring.
All right.
No, but that's funny. But so another thing too is that you didn't mention either is you literally like give work out. So you're in Florida. So somebody hits you up in like Michigan or in Buffalo, New York. Like you have to call somebody that's went to your class pretty much. Like you just send them, hey, here's some work pretty much. I know somebody in that area. They went and came through like they're basically Fix My Inflatable certified. You know what I mean? So that offsets. So not only will they teach you, they're going to give you work too. That'll offset the cost of the future as well. Like that's another crazy thing.
Yeah, so we're trying to build like a little network of all the students we've taught, so we have that ability. And I just actually not too long ago, I had somebody called me just to ask me if there was somebody close to Alabama, and I had just taught a student I think like a week or two before that. I'm like, yep, I got I just gave him out the number, I called them up, told them I'm sending them a lead, and they were super excited about that. Like they had just took the class. I think they just received their machine and everything, so they were excited about already getting money back for it. So yeah, definitely. So once we have you and we know, what area you're located in, and we're just trying to build this little network of all of our students, and that way we know, and also people can come to our site, go on Fix My Inflatable and see where, like, let's say you're in Ohio, or whatever, you're trying to find a repair guy. You can go on our site and look and see if there's a repair guy there, and they're going to be certified, they're trained correctly, and you'll know you have a good repair done.
You know anybody in Rhode Island?
I do not. That I do not.
That could be you. Are you in Rhode Island, Mr. Pistol Pone?
Yep, that could be you.
Don't be shy, everybody. Go ahead and answer some questions too. I know I haven't been on a live stream in a little while. The season's pretty much almost over, so now I'm about to do this every single week again. I will be going to IAPA. There's going to be some big things going on over there. I think there's going to be like a party with the Bent Hawk and stuff like that too. And you're going to be at IAPA too, are you not?
Yeah, so I'll be at IAPA for sure. So just find me there, and if you have any questions, just come talk. I'm going to have the machine. I'm going to have our portable machine there, so you can kind of actually come and look at it and see what that's all about. Which I think it's an awesome machine for inflatable repairs, because it doesn't require you to actually have a huge area or a table. I mean, my table's 12 by 20 feet, so it takes up a lot of room. But with this portable machine, you can really take it anywhere. You can do repairs anywhere you want without having the hassle.
Can we slice up something on the showroom floor?
Maybe.
Let's go over to I think Omega's there. Let's go over to Omega's inflatable and just like slice it.
Yeah, I think they have enough problems themselves. They don't need my help.
What was I going to say? So here we go. If you already have an industrial sewing machine, is there a difference in the course? It's like
there's not a difference in the course, but I will teach you on an industrial sewing machine. So basically, within the first, when you have the ability to either learn on the portable machine or a tabletop sewing machine, a double needle, I give you the option. We can try both. It's not an issue. Most students know within the first 15 minutes which way they want to go. I list out basically the pros and cons of both machines, and but if you already have a machine, yeah, we can just do the whole course really on the tabletop machine. That's fine.
And I'm not sure if you're asking like if you already know how to use a sewing machine. Is there a difference like you're actually learning with inflatables? Yes, there is, because the first day is how to use the machine. The rest of it is learning how to butcher an inflatable and take it apart to get to the actual problem, and then sew it back together the proper way. and the way that like strength, and it's not just fabric here. We're talking about like inflatables, and there's like structural stuff like baffles and different way, like how they go together. You're basically going to be learning bounce house 101 when you do like repairs, like, so you can almost make these things too.
Yeah, you'll learn the ins and outs of it, so a lot of my students, so once we like day 2, once we actually start getting into the repairs, they're like, wow, I didn't know it was like this much involved to actually get to a seam repair. They see a 2, 3, 4 inch seam rip, and they don't see the process sometimes what it takes to get to that area and do that repair properly. So that's where our goal is, really to make sure you can do a repair in a timely manner and properly, so it's lasts us for a long time.
So what's the average cost of the machine? So you can buy a used one pretty cheap. Then if you want to buy like one from them, they have like a couple different options, different models. Just talk to Chris about that. I'm not even sure what the exact cost of his are. I would recommend the floor model, like you were saying. That's the most versatile. Take it on the road with you. It doesn't have to be on a table. It's just you don't have to, when you're repairing things up here, instead of just repairing it on the ground. It's just we move these things all the time. You guys know how it goes. Is there one right there?
So that's the portable machine right there. I mean, as long as you can buy, a used machine, you just kind of you have to know what you're buying, first of all. Not every sewing machine can handle this type. I mean, it takes an abuse. They're going through, if you're going through 2, 4, 6 layers of vinyl, the machines take a beating. So you need something heavy duty.
Yep.
So if you're going to if you're going to use route, you gotta really know what you're buying. I suggest, you can either go to thefixmyinflatable.com and go in the live chat, and then we'll reply to you instantly, and then you can go over what prices and different options are of the machines. But we typically kind of suggest not to even buy a machine until you take the class and figure out which route you want to go. If you want to do the portable, if you want to do the tabletop, but at least if you take the class, you can get a feel for both machines, and then from there you can choose to purchase one.
Is the certificate required to do repairs? Does insurance or state require it? The insurance doesn't require it yet. I have heard talks of it being possibly going to be required in the future, because you're going to have a bounce house company. You're just going to, throw a couple. Like, the problem is people just stitch up zippers with a bunch of twine and little stuff like that. There's no proper repairs done to these, and there's no proper maintenance logs done too. That's something for insurance that nobody really talks about either. You're supposed to have proper maintenance logs and all these inflatables. Nobody does that.
Yeah.
But as far as is there a certificate? It's not required, but then you get a certificate when you do fix my inflatable. So it's like an actual. It's not required, but somebody that's went through the course, at least that they didn't just buy a machine after watching this video and then start doing repairs, and then now you know what I mean. So
yeah, actually, that's my certificate that I took years ago. So I actually took this class years ago and turned it into a business. So it's nice having that certificate up on the wall, though.
I don't know what's going on. You're turning into a robot right now.
Go back.
What's going on here? So, do you teach ways to prevent tearing and keeping units in better shape in general?
Well,
yeah. Hold on a second. Your mic is going crazy. Let me kick you out. I'll make you join back in.
All right.
Sorry about that, everybody. We will be answering questions still, so if you have more questions, go ahead and start asking them. Right now, it says, do you teach ways to prevent tearing and keeping units in better shape in general? I teach that on my YouTube channel. One way you can keep a lot of stress out of your bounce house is don't put if your bounce house takes a 1-horse blower, don't put a 2-horse blower on it. You're just going to stretch out your seams. That's one actual way to keep your unit from lasting longer. Another thing is if you can reinforce your steps, because that's one of the biggest areas of wear and tear of inflatables. When you're buying inflatables, don't buy single stitch inflatables, buy double stitch inflatables. They last longer. There's a whole bunch of things that oh, hold on.
My back.
Yep, there we go. It's better. So what other ways can you tell about to prevent tearing and keep your units in better shape in general?
Keep an eye on it. Have your guys who are cleaning, just keep an eye on when they're in there cleaning and stuff like that. Always keep an eye on like corners, especially corners. Those are the first places there's gonna be a tear. Have them pull that pool liner up if it's like an inflated pool. Check the corners, check the seams, because if you catch it early, it before it becomes an actual problem. So if it's a little seam that's coming apart upstairs, and you can catch it early enough, go ahead and get that repaired, and before it turns into a 2-3 foot rip, and then you have some serious problems at a party. So
small rips become big rips,
and keep it clean too. Keep the units clean. Keep that sand and dirt out of those seams, because that puts a lot of wear and tear in the seams. Also, try to stay away from bleach products too, because the bleach products do damage the thread. So,
if I start a repair business after taking the class, where do I get my supplies, like a thread and extra vinyl?
That's a good question. So, I have a supply list. So, here shortly, I'm actually offering like a starter kit. So you'll have I'll send you a box with basically everything you need to start repairing: a thread, Velcro, webbing, needles, glue, everything you need right now. But I do have a supply list of stuff that I do sell. So you can just buy them straight from me.
Yeah, that's another thing that you're basically working on too. I think it's awesome. It's basically a full service over at Bounce Fix and Fix My Inflatable. You're going to learn how to get repairs, but you're going to get the backup on it and the supplies you need. We're not just like that stuff too, but you're going to be able to get your hands on vinyl and sell vinyl as well, right?
Right. Yeah. So a lot of this stuff, it took me years to kind of find out, distributors and this and that, and try to, you try to find a blower cam, from this company or some Velcro from another company, but at least from, basically it's going to be distributed from Bounce Fix. So you can just buy everything you want from me. That way you don't have to go searching around from different distributors and stuff like that.
Do you teach heat welding at all or anything like that? Because will this process work out for tents as well? So
yeah.
do you teach heat welds or anything like that at all?
Yeah. So my last class, we did go over a little bit of heat welding because that's what they requested. So, which that brings me to another thing. So we do have a curriculum. So there's a curriculum that we go by just to make sure we hit all the important, subjects. But a lot of people have certain, a certain type of repair that they really want to learn before they leave, or that's where their, mindset on, either like trying to figure out how to do a window or a zipper or something like that. And even though it's not in the curriculum, like heat welding is not in the curriculum, but we still touched on it. So if you have any questions or anything that's not really in the class, we'll go through it. We'll make that repair happen, and even if we got to mock it up, we'll get it. That way you learn whatever you want to learn. We'll make it happen.
Like, do you go over tent stuff or anything like that too? That's what he was asking too.
Yeah, as far as tents, a lot of times with the tents, you can heat weld if it's a cut somewhere. I know they also sell a tent tape. But as far as tents, a lot of it is the strapping on the sides or the the lace lines that go at the end, they tear out. The white Velcro, stuff like that, you'll be able to replace the Velcros. You'll be able to replace any strapping on the corners, or even sew in, white vinyl on those corners to kind of like reinforce them, so it prevents from tearing again.
Do you go? We never talked about this, but do you actually go over that stuff? Like, if somebody wanted to bring it to class, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'll teach you guys whatever you want to learn. My goal is to make sure you guys leave the class feeling confident to where you can fix basically anything that comes, in front of you.
So you've worked on tents and stuff in your classes before too?
Yeah, we'll touch up a little bit on it, if they want to. I have, and we've done like heat welding and stuff like that. It's not really part of the curriculum, but I will go over it.
Yeah. Listen, guys, it's everybody that's watching this. There's people that are kind of slower. There's people that are a little bit smarter and they catch on quicker. If if you don't know how to weld in the third day, we're not going to go into advanced strategies of tent welding and stuff like that. But if you catch on pretty well, like, there's possibility you can get into something like that. That's awesome.
Yep.
How do warranty repairs work and who pays for them? That's an awesome question too.
So yeah, which is nice because I do work with several manufacturers. Basically the way I like to do it is I actually have the customer pay me, and then the manufacturer will reimburse the customer. And what I usually do is I'll take a picture of the repair before and then afterwards, send it to the customer, and then they have an invoice, and then they basically take care of, they get to take care of with the manufacturer. So that's basically how warranty repairs work.
Or sometimes you have some manufacturers that just come to you directly.
Yeah. So I will. Yeah, I have manufacturers that call me. I'm like, hey, I got this customer at so and so. Like, can you help them out? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So they actually contact me too. So if we can get like a little network going, with all the students, and that's going to help out too, because the manufacturer can just contact you directly.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot of ways to make money taking this class. So even though you're taking the class maybe just for yourself, even for yourself alone, you're going to save on downtime, because if you have to wait for a repair guy that's a month out, that unit's not going out for the next 4 weekends. So you're losing $200, $300, $400, $500 each weekend for that unit. And then you got to pay somebody or take it yourself to the repair guy. It might be 2-3 hours away. So that's money there. And then the cost of the repair. So that's a ton of money just in the repair side of it. But also, so taking the class, if you can fix 1 or 2 a month or once a month or something like that, you're saving hundreds of dollars. And then if you do a repair for a company, once or twice, 3 times, 4 times a month, you're just making money. You'll have your return back in like no time.
Yeah, I love it that like you guys aren't just selling a class, you're basically selling a lifestyle, and you're also just like going to be there for people. Like I know like you get phone calls and questions all the time, like, hey, how do you do this? Like, if I were to, what's the best way to tackle this? You know what I mean? Pictures and all that stuff. And you give out that information. It's like, oh no, you gotta come back for another 3 days and learn. No, it's like you just tell them. Once you do those 3 days, you're in the Fix My Inflatable family.
Right. Yeah. You can give me a call, send me a picture, but like, how do I do this repair? And I'll walk you through it. So even though, we don't just kick you out the door and shut it. So once you leave, so yeah, you can always just call me or text me and we'll walk you through that repair. And especially if you buy a machine from us too, there's support there too.
So where are you located? You're in Ocala, Florida, aren't you?
We are in Ocala, Florida. We're about an hour and 20 minutes north of Orlando, northwest of Orlando.
So the big thing that we're going to go over right now too is, everybody, you're going to get $100 off. You're going to get $100 off the course if you watch, because you're watching this video, you stayed to the end. You're going to get $100 off because I said so, because Carlos said so, because Chris said so. We're giving you $100 off. So that just drops the bottom line even more. This is going to be the early deal for the newsletter. I just had to give you guys something because I'm probably going to push the newsletter back a couple weeks or something like that. But I wanted to make sure I give out some deal, and that's what it's going to be. You're going to get $100 off a Fix My Inflatable course. When the newsletter comes out, this deal might even be a little bit better, more sweet per se. But right now, $100 off. It's going to be the deal. You can book for IAPA. You can do with it as you wish. It's not $100 in your pocket, but it's $100 off. Of course, it's going to put money in your pocket for the rest of your life, possibility.
Yeah.
Possibly. So, yeah. Enjoy that, everybody. It's going to be the first deal that we're offering pretty much for the newsletter and for the group. Membership has its perks. There's strength in numbers. Bounce Fix is creating its own community of repair people, just like we're building a community of Party Rental people. It's, you know what I mean? You're an even smaller subsection, but it's like you guys are the mechanics of the industry pretty much. Like, you guys are the ones that save our stuff. You make a lot of money too on the side buying like broken stuff that's easily repaired and just selling it too.
Yeah, so that's another part too, because now, you know, when you take the class, I'll teach you like what to look for, and that's a lot for just, you know, doing repairs, but it goes a long way. It goes into buying used inflatable. So if you're going to go purchase used inflatable, you can walk through it and check every point, you know, stress points and Velcro and all the, you know, everything we covered in that class. So once you know, go to purchase it, you can either look, you can see what it needs, what it's going to need, and also you can just fix it. So it might be something where before you were like, oh, I'm not going to buy this because it's got a tear right here. Now you can go ahead and just buy it, fix that tear, and you're ready to go.
I like that. You really understand your equipment a lot more. So,
without a doubt,
all right,
yeah.
everybody, that's it for tonight. Sign up for the newsletter. Links in the description. Phone number's been scrolling around the bottom of the screen. Remember, you're going to get $100 off before the newsletter's even out. Ta-da. See you guys at IAPA.
Yep, see you guys.
Stay safe. And if you need more questions answered, you can always hit us up anytime.